everybody. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I'm 34 in 2 weeks, and I have come into the hospital, my local facility, to get checked out because I woke up this morning and the cramping hadn't stopped, and it was pretty consistent. It was like about every 10 minutes that I was feeling it. So I'm here at the hospital getting checked. There's our little guy. Let's see if we can. I can't zoom in on it. There's our guy. You can't see it right there, but I am contracting about every 4 to 5 minutes. I only feel the bigger ones, which are about every 5 to 10 minutes. They've given me medication for it. And they've collected something called a fetal fibronectin, or an FFN, to test to see if I'm releasing any pre-labor proteins. But they've given me a shot of Turb, which is what the shaking is from, so I'm sorry about that. I feel like a nut job right now. I feel like an absolute crackhead. Like my sugar just dropped, or I drank 35 cups of caffeine, or like after you get in a car accident and you get real shaky afterwards. That's what I feel like, and I'm not digging it. Oh God, it's so bad. I've already texted my doctor in Vegas, and he's aware I'm here. He's like, okay, you're fine. My husband is officially freaking out, thinking that this baby is coming right now. It is not. My nurse checked me already, and my cervix is still closed, so that's good. So it might just be, dehydration, just pain in the butt, older girl status, who knows. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted.
So today is being spent laying in bed, as was yesterday. I was sent home after about 3 hours, 2 shots of terbutaline, some breakfast, and some water. I was contracting, I told you guys that, and baby looked fine, nice and reactive. Excuse me. Told me basically just take it easy. They didn't put me on any medications, they didn't put me on any restrictions. My husband is forcing Ginger do nothing today. I am not arguing. I think that we're going to go to the grocery store, and that's it, because we got no food, and next week is Thanksgiving. So, but really, I'm just going to kind of take it easy this weekend. I see my doctor on Monday, and we'll run it by him and see what happens. I don't know if I said or not, there was no change in my cervix, which is good. So it wasn't like labor. I think it's just like irritation, contractions that maybe I ignored a little too long. I felt really stupid going in because I was not 100% convinced that I was contracting. I've never gone into labor on my own. I've been induced with all my kids. I've said it 1,000 times. And I will say that it is very different. It's very different. The only reason I ended up going in is because I could visibly see the contraction. So my nurse brain kicked in. I was like, that's exactly what my patients' bellies look like when they have contractions. I better go in. So, and my husband was like, you should probably go in. I'm sick of listening to you complain about this. I will say, after 2 doses of terbutaline in the water and being monitored for quite a while, they still have not stopped. They have slowed down significantly. However, they have not stopped. I don't feel them nearly as often or nearly as regular. So I don't know. I'll address it with my doc. Hopefully he doesn't put me on any medication. My biggest concern, outside of keeping this pregnancy long enough so that this little boy has all the time he needs, is we are undecided on if we want to do this again. We are playing it by ear. And realistically, looking at it, I would say it is not off the table at this point. So I would like to give myself the best chance possible to do it again. So if I have a preterm labor, then I can't do it again, and that would be slightly disappointing, but I won't be as upset as I was last summer. So I don't know, we'll see. I'll let you guys know what my doc says on Monday. So I'm home, I'm okay, baby's okay, and I'm not in labor. I really think I'm just dehydrated. I can feel it. I can feel it in my lips, I can feel it in my body. It is just becoming increasingly hard again to to just drink the water. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the flavor of it. Makes my stomach hurt sometimes, but it's better than it was in the beginning. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to keep trying to push it in and ignore my discomfort, because my discomfort means nothing in this compared to what it means if I don't drink enough water. So I don't know. We will see. I will let you guys know when I know more.
Hi. Okay, so had my doctor's appointment yesterday afternoon. He said everything looks fine as far as growth goes. I discussed ad nauseum me going into triage this weekend. I explained to him my concerns about it. I'm going to try to get this. I'm holding it. Sorry about the shakiness, you guys. My concerns about it, my fears, long-term concerns, short-term concerns. He did not put me on any medication. I made him aware that I am still contracting, although not as regularly, but they are, they're there, and I notice them, and you can see them, and you can feel them. I told him, I said, you know, we are absolutely on the fence about whether or not we'll do this again. We are sticking by the whole, we're going to play it by ear and take it day by day. However, if this is called preterm labor, and if I am treated for such, then that calls it. So I'd really like to avoid that diagnosis if it's not really preterm labor, meaning that it's making change to your cervix. And it is not. And he said, you know, it's not making change to your cervix, so it's just preterm contractions. It happens. He left me the choice of putting me on medications, and I would rather not be on medications. I don't enjoy them, and I don't think they're necessary until such time that it changes my cervix. I am, 35 weeks tomorrow. And he said, in reality, I'm not concerned if you deliver after 35 weeks. So if I can get to 36 weeks, you know, the risk goes down a lot more. They're a little bit more developed. Obviously, we want to get further along, but I don't think for one second that I am in labor. I think I am contracting. Sometimes it is uncomfortable, and I just can't deal with it. And I'm trying to drink as much water as I can and keep it down. Today, I was at work. You can see by the background, I'm not at home. And it was a little bit harder to keep water down today. Unfortunately, it's sometimes part of the job when you're just busy or you just forget because you've got 100 other things to do. But I am trying. He said, basically, just take it easy. He's absolutely not going to let me go past my due date, is what he's telling me. He wants me off that last week of pregnancy, so I will be out before Christmas, just in case. And I mean, really, he said, I'm not concerned. You know, the labs came back negative in the hospital. They did an FFN. I think I explained that. It tests for a protein that your body gives off when you're starting labor, and he said that came back negative, so that's a good sign. He just said, just basically hands off. Don't check yourself. He's not going to check me. You know, sex can sometimes aggravate this. I informed him we were not having a whole lot of sex, so I know that's not the problem. He said that no bed rest is on the schedule. He goes, it really doesn't help anything, so he's not going to do that. He said, however, because I may or may not be slightly bossy, and told him what we are going to do, and yeah, I'm bossy, and I like to tell him tout a doctor sometimes because I'm the boss, not him. He said he absolutely will put me on medication if he feels the need, and he absolutely will admit me if I need, and if I'm at work and it gets worse, to check out of work and check into triage, and he will address it from there. So I also explained to him, you know, my big concern is really my ultimate concern is they're not here. The parents are not here. So I need to keep this guy in here until they get here, plain and simple. I cannot risk him coming out beforehand, because I don't know how long it'll be till they can get here. I know they're still working on visa paperwork. So that really ultimately is my biggest concern, is I need these parents here. I don't even know what would happen if they weren't here, I don't know who would take responsibility for it. I assume the agency, but I've never really been in a position or heard of a position where the parents didn't have their visas already. So I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I mean, I'd assume the agency would take control of the baby, but I don't know. I mean, and my worst fear is that the baby would go into like a ward of the state situation where Child Protective Services would have to get involved, because I legally have no right to claim him when he comes out. I can't stop them from taking him because he's not my child, and the paperwork states this. You know, the PBO is done and it's filed and it's being sent to the hospital, so I won't have a leg to stand on. I won't have anything to stand on. So yeah, that's ultimately, and that's what I told him. And he said, that's when he was like, look, I'm going to give you meds if I think you need it. I'm going to admit you if I think you need it. And he doesn't right now. So he's comfortable with what's going on. He doesn't think I need to be off work. He said, I just have to make sure I'm drinking water, that I'm taking breaks, and that I'm eating, which I said at that point that you just obviously do not know me, because I will eat when I'm hungry, whenever I want, and nobody's gonna stop me. But he said, make sure you're drinking lots of water and make sure that you're taking your breaks. So the taking of breaks is questionable, but I'm working on the water. So he's not concerned. He's okay with it. He said, you know, if I need to go back in, absolutely go back in, and we'll go from there. So everything looks okay. He's still real active in there. He's moving around, like looking at it outside, looking in. I don't have any bleeding, you guys. I'm not leaking any fluid. I don't have anything other than cramping, and they're uncomfortable. They kind of take my breath away, but they're not painful like I would anticipate labor contractions to be. So we're just gonna continue to watch it. I see him again next week. I told my mom, my baby mama, that my next appointment is next week, and she said something via translator that I hope I am understanding correctly. She said that she will try to be in America before my next inspection. That's her plan. So I'm guessing she'll be here next week. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little excited. I'm partly nervous because next week they do my GBS swab, and I don't want to take my pants off in front of this woman. I really don't want to take my pants off in front of my doctor either. It's just weird when you work with the people who are going to be all elbow deep in your vag. I guess I should have thought of that before I did all this, huh? I'm so nervous about my doctor seeing in my vagina. It's so uncomfortable. So hopefully she'll be here next week, and then I don't know, we'll go from there. So I don't know. I'll give you guys an update next week. Hopefully she'll be in town. Oh, excuse me. We'll go from there. So everything looks alright. I'm just gonna lay down and go to sleep because I gotta work tomorrow. It is Thanksgiving week, so I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving who celebrates. For those who you don't celebrate, or maybe have a different view on history and don't see Thanksgiving as a joyous, festive occasion, I hope you have a whatever you do this holiday, and enjoy your time with your family, because I know everybody pretty much has it off. So enjoy your time with your family. Those of you who have to work, please stay safe. If you are law enforcement, please stay safe out there. If you are going to be on the roads, please don't drink and drive, and everybody enjoy it. I will see you guys next time.